Here with more, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. Senator, I love your perspective on all this. I don't like the idea of telegraphing what we're doing. I don't like the idea that this is low-hanging fruit. I'd like to see what the full response is going to be, and I'd like to see what the real aftermath is. But they've already tried two, quote, pointless attacks that ended up being meaningless. Why would they think this is going to be any different?
Good evening, Sean. Those are all good questions, and I think a lot of the points you make are the points I hear from Arkansans. Like you, they don't want a war, but they understand the quickest way to get a war is the weak, hesitant, timid responses we've seen from Joe Biden for 3 years now. Remember, these attacks have accelerated since the October 7th atrocity in Israel, but there were almost 100 attacks on our troops before that atrocity on October 2nd, and we only responded something like 4 or 5 times. And as you say, hitting empty warehouses. The way you prevent a war from happening is strong, confident, forceful retaliation whenever enemy nations target your troops. That's what President Trump did when he killed Qasem Soleimani, Iran's terrorist mastermind. That's what Ronald Reagan did when he sank half of Iran's navy in 1988. That doesn't start a war, that prevents a war.
I agree, and to me, again, I go back to my earlier point. They telegraphed it. They gave them time to prepare. That gave the people responsible time to escape. And I don't really think the Iranians, for 1 second, give a hoot. I'll be pleasant about it. About what happens in Iraq and Syria. I don't think they care at all. And I don't think they care if any of their proxy fighters are killed, because they're probably figuring, and rightly so, that there's going to be, 1 million more volunteers behind them that will go out and do their bidding for them if they supply the weaponry to do it. And that's what they've been getting away with.
Yeah, that's right, Sean. Iran, as it's sometimes said, is willing to fight America and Israel to the very last Arab. But that's what we can't allow them to do. They have a proxy strategy. When all we do is hit their proxies, it simply validates their proxy strategy. You have to take the fight to Iranians itself. And to telegraph for 5 days what we're going to do, so all of Iran's key leaders could hightail it back to Iran from Syria and Iraq, and then limit ourselves to the infrastructure or the command and control centers or the bunkers they have in Iraq and Syria. It's a tactical success, but they can get new bunkers. They can get new command and control centers. You have to hit Iran where it hurts. You shouldn't be telegraphing it 5 or 6 days in advance. And you shouldn't be saying all week long how we don't want to escalate. We don't think Iran controls these groups. Oh, by the way, Iran's nuclear program is on ice. All of these leaks are designed to send a signal the exact opposite of what Joe Biden actually is sending. He wants to send a signal like, oh, let's have peace, let's have quiet. And all it really does is embolden the Ayatollahs to continue these attacks. And that'll really be the measure of success here, Sean. Do the attacks on American troops and international shipping stop?